In Atomic Habits by James Clear, Chapter 2, he says, the more pride you have in a particular aspect of your identity, the more motivated you will be to maintain the habits associated with it. He later goes on to say that once your pride gets involved, you'll fight tooth and nail to maintain a habit. So, that's going to be our subject of the day. Welcome back. I'm Lane Valeric, and this is continuing Chapter 2 of Atomic Habits. So, in our last video, we touched on bringing your habits into your identities and how that can benefit the creation of good habits. Today, we're going to touch on pride and how that can change your habits as well. So, I was raised a non-denominational Christian ? And I was always taught that pride is a seventh deadly sin. Now, why is that? They say it severs your connection from God because you're placing more worth in yourself and you're valuing your own achievements and not the glory of God. Now, I don't know about all that, and I'm not going to get into my religious beliefs right now, but what I can tell you is that when you do good work, and as an electrician, I like to try and do good work, you feel a sense of accomplishment for the effort that you put into something. On that note, it also looks good when you complete a job well, and then you have a client who notices that you completed that job well, and they come back to your company later with another project, and they say, we want so-and-so who did our last job because they did a good job. That's now created a virtuous cycle where you took pride in your work, you did better work, it got noticed, and it got you more work. I can understand how if you internalize that into you being worth more, religious circles might say that, yeah, you're disconnecting from God. But I can also see how in the fact that you're trying to build a good habit, if you do your best at creating that habit and it starts to self-regulate by the virtuous cycle that you've now created in doing better and being noticed as doing better and working harder at the habit, and it continues to go around and around, you're going to get better at that habit faster than if you didn't involve your pride. And I think that that's very powerful and a very good way to gain habits that last quickly. James Clear gave an example in the book. He said something like, say you notice you have nice hair, or you like the way your hair looks a particular way, you're going to build a habit around having your hair look that particular way because you like how it looks. That's a little bit conceitful about, wanting to change the way you look or make sure that you look a certain way. But what about in what you do, right? Or what about in the way that you act intrinsically? Like, I am somebody who wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That can be a source of pride in certain circles. Think Jocko Willink. Does that make me necessarily better than anybody else? Absolutely not. I fall short in so many other ways. But that's part of why we're here, isn't it? Anyway, I don't have any challenges for anybody today. Unless some of you want to try and be prideful about some of the habits you're building. But it's all food for thought. I'm here to learn, same as everybody else. And that's it for now. Next week, we're going to start to tackle Chapter 3. I think my shift is changing again, so I might actually get off these 12-hour night shifts. They're absolutely killing me. And I might be able to put a little more time into the research and actually take these videos at my house again. It kind of sucks having to do it over lunch break. Anyway, if you like what I'm doing here, give me a like, subscribe, send me a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything that I've just said and everything I've said before now. Otherwise, take it easy. We'll see you next time. Bye.